Hello, welcome back to the question and answer session for net zero questions. And today you'll see I have dressed myself in one of our auditing pieces of kit. So I hope you like that. Sort of dressed up for you. And today's question, Farah, what have we got?
So today's question's on SECR.
Okay.
And the question is, what are SECR reporting requirements?
Okay, so what are SECR reporting? Yeah, nice and easy. Okay, so I'm going to simplify this down and say what I'm going to talk about is for non-quoted companies. If you find yourself on the financial stock exchange, then what I'm about to say is different. If you're on AIM, it still applies. Okay, strangely, maybe I don't quite agree with that, but it's out of my pay grade. But if you're on the stock exchange, this does not apply. So reporting requirements, I'm going to draw a grid here, boopty boopty boopty, like that. And I'm going to write in, what must you, scope, that says scope 1, okay? What must you report? Well, to start with, you need to report all of your gas use that you use and all of your aircon refrigerant, yeah? Refrigerant, okay? So gas, aircon, refrigerant. Gas is easy. It's how much gas you used during the course of a 12-month period. Aircon is slightly different. It's when if you've got a big aircon system, it will leak. When they top up the leaks, they'll tell you how much refrigerant they put in. They're really, really nasty. And so you need to keep a log of it and you must report that. And the other thing here is fuels. So if you bought, for example, typically a lot of diesel or a lot of petrol, either for company cars or for plant and equipment, or in one of my clients, a couple of cranes, then you must report that. Okay, there's scope 1 emissions. Scope 2, I know it's not the technical definition, but it's how my little brain works. Electricity. So you must report your electricity use down there. And then in scope 3, which, do you know what, that can be massive, but for SECR they restrict it down to one of the scope 3 categories, which is mileage reclaims. Okay, which, for example, if you do a business trip from A to B and you put in a claim for 45p a mile, you need to report those. Okay, so that's what you need to report. Let's talk about a couple of other things. And I'm going to use a different color because I'm just feeling like that. How often must you report? Annual. Okay, you must also compare this year versus last year. Okay, on what you're looking for. I'll talk about intensity in a second. You're looking about the intensity decreasing as time ticks on. That's what you must do. What must you collect here? You must collect monthly data, okay? If you want to play it by the book, absolutely minimum, annual, okay? So annual data is allowed, but I don't know anybody who does that, you know, and generally you talk about monthly data. And monthly data allows you to see patterns, spot problems, and also, you know, if you've missed some out, it shows up, you know, like a red beacon because there's a gap in the graph. So annual data, add a push. I'll put brackets around there. Monthly data is what you need. Now, what do you need to report on? All of your UK operations. So all UK sites, they are sites you operate, okay? Whether you own them or not is not entirely relevant. It's whether you operate them. So if you lease a building instead of owning it and you're in control of the energy in that building, then you must report it, okay? Also other UK assets, and that largely is, I most often come across it with construction companies, you know, who have a lot of vehicles that are out on sites and stuff like that. It bit bop, nice and easy. You must report on your intensity, which is your kilograms of CO2 per unit. And your unit is often, in reality, there's lots of things you can choose. Turnover in pounds. So you might say, for example, we use 2 kilograms of CO2 per pound of turnover generated, or we use 0.01 kilograms of CO2 per square foot of premises occupied. And the idea here is that as your company grows or shrinks, etc., then here you can actually, because it's divided by some sort of metric that represents your company size, it allows you to compare year on year. So there you go. That's your 6 boxes. Your basic scope 1, scope 2, only one of the scope 3s. I think they're going to tighten that in 2022, just my guess. Annual, you need to report it annually. You need to compare years, this year versus last year. Monthly data is what you should be going for all UK sites and all UK assets. And you must report the intensity. There you go, Farah. How was that?
Oh, fantastic as always.
Oh, you charmer. Yeah. Okay, there you go, chaps.